I got out of the pool and was like, I need a wheelchair. Like somebody needs to carry me out of this pool. Like it was so bad.
Welcome to Social Kick. I'm Brian Lundquist. We got a partial crew. Luke's off in his post Masters World Championships afterglow. Didn't get any medals, but he gave a valiant effort for Team Trinidad and Tobago. So way to go, Luke. The journey was worth it. On to newer goals. John joining us from an attic in Indiana somewhere outside of his native Seattle as of now, and Tommy Janton. Welcome, dude. Fresh off of Worlds.
Awesome.
How's it going?
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that. It's been going good.
Man. Hell yeah. We're stoked to get to talk to you. There's a lot to talk about. Famously, you're the U.S. national champion and world's U.S. team's A backstroker, came back with a bronze medal, had a big finish to the meet, which is awesome. I know there's like a long saga to that meet. We've got a lot to get into there, but first, we like to start these off by polling our audience on Instagram and YouTube at Social Kick Swim for questions for our guests. So I wanted to get into a few of the ones that our guests had for you, Tommy, or our audience had for you. Let's start off with famously one of the few elite swimmers who bucks social norms and says, I'm going to wear my goggle straps over the cap. This one's from Willen B. Henry wants to know, why do you wear your goggles over the cap?
So actually a couple times my freshman year and a little bit in high school as well, I had some issues with my cap coming off, and my cap would fly off. Well, I would try. I've tried everything. So I've done goggles under the cap, cap over top, and then cap, goggles, cap, double cap. And my coach would tell me it'd be like a magic trick, because I would go into a turn with say I'm swimming at night, like at ACCs. I mean, this did happen too. Like I would go into the turn for like a 100 backstroke, go in with a black cap and then flip, and then you'd see me come out with a white cap because it would just come off. And the same thing would happen if I just had one cap on and the goggles underneath. So I try to play it safe, and I don't know if it's like my hair or the size of my head. I have no idea, but I've tried smaller caps, you name it, like everything, and it just keeps coming off. So I've stuck to goggles over the cap, and again, I'm totally cool with it, and it does the job for me, so I'm all for it.
Well, I mean, I feel like Kyle Chalmers popularized it amongst the modern men's field. Because for a long time you didn't see it, but I don't know. After that, I don't think he does it anymore. I think he goes back under.
I didn't see him do it at Worlds at all when I was watching. So I think he's back.
You're checking out for all the competition of the goggles on the outside.
No
one's rocking it like I am. That's for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think is like one major swimming faux pas from a fashion standpoint that you just can't do? Because a lot of people would say it's that, but you're doing it. You're bucking the trend. What's
a lot of people?
Unacceptable?
Brian Lundquist is saying that's one of them.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I mean, I also could say too, like some people also will wear like a chain or something, and I feel like especially if the pendant is huge, like I mean,
sure.
Again. Shout out to Peter Coatsy. That dude had a huge pendant on his chain to just throw it back. And then I would just be like, dang, like he would still rip a 51 with the chain on. And I'm like, you know what? Kudos to you. So.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, because I was watching a Worlds with some friends, and that comment came up of why do they allow that, or I'm surprised that they would do that. And I always think that when I'm watching track and you see them get down for a start and it's hanging in their face.
Oh yeah, right here.
You know, and you've got like the pendant right by the chin. I'm like, wouldn't that be super annoying? Wouldn't you want to like bust your chin on that or something? And I would think that's the same.
Like it's
swimming with
just
jewelry.
Being distracting. Yeah, like I feel like if you're about to start and it's just like right dangling, and then you kind of go up to get going, and it's just like, I don't know, I feel like that get in your way too, as you said.
I know. So. Yeah. All right. Well, there it is. All right. This one's from Fernando Flores _VE. What exercise is a must in your gym routine?
So I personally love doing core. So I love all kinds of core stuff. So I love doing V-ups. I also just like decline, like when you have a weight, you're holding it up and you're just doing like vertical crunches. I love doing all that kind of stuff. But I mean, I also I love lifting in general. So, you know, everything goes into it. I haven't been as much on my legs just because hurt my back a little bit past 2 years. But aside from that, yeah, you do it, you name it, I'll do it. I love being in the gym.
Hell yeah. Tommy Janton skips leg day? Is that what you're telling me?
I find my ways to do stuff. Like I love working with the pitch shark and doing other stuff to get my squats in, but I'm not as much on the rack anymore. So I find ways to do it though.
All right, all right. Hey, quick aside, I was lifting in the gym the other day, and you know, there's some gyms that have ab machines. John, how do you feel about doing abs on a machine? I feel like that's something that, you know, from elite athletes don't really do, but I see them in like common gyms.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think they can be pretty good, and actually, swimmers could use it because you can actually load it up a fair amount, right, and make it fairly challenging. Most common one is like where you're holding the handles and you're crunching down into weight. But like a lot of machines, if you use them wrong, they can definitely mess you up. You start, you know, overarching and doing all these different things, you can totally wreck your back even worse. So, Tommy, maybe stay away from doing it with wrong form. That's for sure. On the, I know you're hitting the Lifetime Fitness gym all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like depending on what you're doing, I think again, if you're trying to do core, I feel like again, just instead of doing like a hollow hold and just like holding that position of like the intensity on your core, I feel like again, doing more crunches and stuff or something where you're moving your abs more is better. But I agree. I think if you load it up, I mean, I think if you're again cautious with it, I think it could be totally good.
Yep. Most of the machines are pretty idiot-proof. That's a good thing about it. But you know, there's idiots out there though. That
something
still
always happens.
You know,
sometimes,
mess themselves up, right? It's like you watch those gym fail videos, and you're like, are these serious videos of people using machines, or are they just messing with it?
Because they're
like,
how do you even think about using the machine like that? Like I'll see people just like jump in and doing whatever, and it's just like, good lord.
It's like knee extension, and they're laying on their stomach on the chair, like pressing the bar with their arms. It's like, what? You gotta be kidding me. There's no way someone actually thinks this is right. Especially there's actually a picture of how to use it on the machine.
Of course, right next to it, yeah.
Well, I can kick him while he's down because I was lifting with Luke a few times before Worlds, and he was like, you know, wanting to be a sponge, and he's been away from training for a while, and he was, you know, came from a different background, and we all swam at different schools, and we all got coached by different methods and stuff, and so he's like, whenever we lift together, he's like, well, what would you do? And just picking up tricks, which I think is awesome. I love that about lifting with friends. But Luke was trying to, I was kind of just teaching him like a warm-up routine with like some, like a clean movement, and he kept on like, every time that he pulled the bar up, it was like a little hop, you know, and his like heels would come off the floor and then he would set back down. And I was just like, thinking about, okay, how do I coach this? How do I like break this movement down to be like, dude, the heels down, leave him there, you know?
Brian, he's just got so much power, man. He's had so much power. You can't stay on the ground. You saw that start at Masters Worlds. He's exploding off that block.
That's the solution.
Was like, start looking good.
Yeah, no.
Good to stretch. Good to stretch.
Good enough? Good enough.
Yeah.
No, he did good.
For a 50-year-old, it didn't look bad.
No, he did great. He did great. Yeah, all right.
He did really well. He's just a breaststroker now.
Speaking of like weight-related stuff, we had another one from Matt_James who wanted to know what weight do you start at for athletes that haven't done a power rack in training before? So if you're like new to resistance training in the water, John works with the Destro machine at his gym. And I remember like we used to have some like weighted, the actual like power racks with weight on them, not like a water bucket or something that we would do. But there's lots of different types of these. What would you say, Tommy? If you had to start first time new to weight training in the water, how would you go about it?
I mean, I definitely, so when I came to Notre Dame, I had never done anything with like towers or racks at all. So, I mean, I did start pretty light. I think it's, again, more of, well, obviously, depending on whatever stroke you're doing too, I think it's just personal preference. But again, I feel like even now I don't load up too crazy on what the weight is just because I want to feel the power when I'm swimming and like the speed of what I'm doing. So again, I think it's in general just personal preference. But if I had to recommend, I would say probably do a little bit lighter just so one, you don't like you just get the feel of what it is and you feel more like, I guess, in tune with what you're doing. And then as well, afterwards, once you get a little bit more comfortable with it, then you can add a little bit more weight. But I would say to start probably a little bit lighter than what you would think just so you can get comfortable with it.
Put the full stack on there straight away. That's what I say.
Yeah,
Just
20
go for
and
it.
you're there. You're there.
You gotta feel some weight in it. That's what it's all about.
Brian's gonna be on. If Brian was coaching, he'd be on Say Sport in no time. He's got 4-year-olds with 140 pounds around there on a belt for him. So maybe,
I'd have them juicing. My 4-year-olds would be signed up for the enhanced game straight away.
There you go. Just
let's get them on a program right now. We're just like bucking
come on.
them. Oh man. Well, but maybe that's what Phelps will do. He doesn't want his kids in USA swimming. Maybe they're going enhanced.
Straight to enhanced.
Straight enhanced. I like it. All right. Patrick Salmon wants to know what's the best Pokemon card you pulled in Singapore.
Oh, all right. It's so funny. Pat was on the bus with us, and it was me, Destin, and Dare, and Pat. And it was honestly the card that it's so funny. He pulled the card that I was like, it was like a full art Kiram. It was just like one of the newer generations that was part of the set. And it was all in Japanese, and I thought it was so cool. And me, Dare, and Destin were all freaking out over it because Destin, right when we got out of the airport, coming off from Thailand to Singapore, we walked out of our gate, and right there was a Pokemon vending machine, and I was like, "Oh my god, like this is awesome!" But I didn't fully know what other people like, what Destin liked it as much as I did, and he ran over and immediately put his credit card in and bought like he said like $150 right there. He was like, "Yeah, pick me up, I got it." Yeah. So, I mean, I think that was probably the one that he pulled. So shout out to Pat for that. That was awesome.
Ripping packs.
Oh, right on. All right, last one I wanted to get from the audience questions. This one's from No Breath Brad.
I know, good name.
What a great name. Way to go, Brad. No breaths. He wants to know who's an underrated underwater dolphin kicker that people don't talk about, but they should.
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, I'd like to give a bone to my teammate Marcus. This guy, he swam for Mexico at Worlds, and his underwaters are pretty damn good. I think he kicks my butt all the time in practice, and just going at it. Him and I going head to head for our little backstroke group, but his underwaters are fantastic. I also think I also got to give it to Destin. Destin's underwaters, I remember watching at NCAA's this past year. His 200 freestyle coming up at 15 every single lap. I was like so impressed by that. And it's just like, I don't know how he does that because I try so hard. And I think his back half, like he'll come home 22-22 or 23-22, and it's almost even split. And I just have no idea how he does that. And it's just insane to watch. So I'd say those two for sure.
Well, I mean, you famously had a killer back half to win the U.S. national title, and so you're no stranger to back end speed. So I don't know, is it that far fetched? Like, what's your secret to a fast back half and 100 backstroke?
Well, I mean, I feel like for me, at least in that race, like I really just even the beginning, like I try and keep that first 50 just light and fluffy, and then after I come off of the wall of, I guess we'll say the last 35, it's just charging. And it's just like, I tried to at least my coaches have always said in the past, I always keep my head pretty high, like tilted in. And I really was just like, I'm just going to put it back and just let it rip. And that ended up helping me finish into the wall to then earn that title. So.
And talk to us about kind of what went through your head or what your reaction was, because you had an awesome freaking celebration. You're like throwing the bows and just going nuts after you won nationals and Gutter Lane won. So what went through your head, if you remember?
No, of course. I mean, I was completely shocked. I had no idea. Like I know my field of who I'm racing, and for the most part, most people in that field had been faster than me in the past, especially the guy next to me, Will Moglin. He is a fantastic 100 backstroker, short and long, and I came out ahead of him like at the very beginning, and I was like, okay, like this is good. Like I have a little bit of a lead, and I flipped going into the turn. I really couldn't. Again, since I'm on the end, I couldn't really see where everybody else is, so I kind of just kept to myself. But I could see out of the corner of my eye when I was doing underwaters. Like I was like, oh, I still have a little bit of a lead on him. So I was just like, I wasn't sure where the rest of the field was, so I just kind of just kept to myself. And then when I touched the wall, I was like, I had no idea. Like I was expecting like maybe like third, like I don't know, because I couldn't see anybody else. But
Sure.
once I realized, I was like, oh my god, like I won. Like this was insane. Like I didn't. Again, I had absolutely no idea. So it was pure shock to me, and I was just kind of just soaking it in, just like letting my emotions get the best of me, just to be happy and express that. And it was so much fun, just like. Especially coming off of 2 years ago when Chris, my teammate, got second in lane 1, and he made worlds for the first time too. And that's kind of what I thought of as well. Just like it's a hot lane. It's a very, very hot lane. You just need to know how to use it. So.
Yeah, I've lived an almost similar moment when I was winning the U.S. National Championship for 35 meters, and then I faded to 4th out of lane 1.
No.
Yeah. My best finish at World Champs Trials was 4th in the 50 free, and if you watch the video, I was still like leading at like 35, 40 meters, and then I just couldn't close the race, and I was like, oh damn, it's right there. But it's so funny because like when you're on the outside, I knew I had a good one going.
Right. Yeah.
And out of the corner of my eye, I was beating, lane 2 and 3, like right next, but I couldn't tell where the rest of the field was. Right. So when I touched the wall, I could have had I could have won. I could have got 4th or 5th. Like, I don't know. So turns out it was the latter for me. But like, are you the type that, you have a goal time going in, you kind of like know when you've got a good one going? I feel like swimming is kind of difficult with that, where, you have these relative cues, like, oh, I turned ahead of such and so, or I can maybe see out of the corner of my eye. But, the distance events are the ones where there's a little bit more strategy and you can play off of other people in the race. But most of the other events, like 200 and down, are less strategic, more focused on, you might as well put the blinders on, like a
Just
horse
go
race or a racehorse.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Did you know that you had a good one going, and it was just a question of like what the actual time was going to be?
I would say, yeah. I mean, beforehand, like before my pre-race and stuff, I love listening to music. So that's my big thing. I think I definitely do it a lot. It was so funny. Like we came out from Worlds after we got our bronze in the medley relay, and Jack was saying, did you realize you were singing out loud when you were in the ready room with everybody? And I was like, not really. So I just get in my own zone and I kind of do my own thing. And I just was like, I didn't feel that I knew what I needed to do, but I was like, I just like kind of just left everything in the pool. I was like, I'm just going to leave it in the pool, because I wasn't having the best meet beforehand, but I was kind of just like, those swims are done. Let them go, and then we got to focus on what's at hand right now and the chance that I have right here at night to make the team, to see how well I can do. But I think overall it was just like leave it all in the pool and just like let her rip, see what happens. Like be controlled, but let her rip and see how it goes.
Right. Was Jack like, hey man, be cool, or was he just like, was that
no,
like, hey man, we don't do that, or like, hey, did you know?
He was just poking out. He's like, I love that you were in your own world doing your own thing. He's like, other people were looking at you, but you didn't care. And I was like, nope, I just kind of was doing my own thing. So.
All right, well, we got to hear it. I mean, what were you singing? All I can envision is you doing like the Karate Kid, like, you're the best around, and just like getting pumped up in the ready room.
No, I mean, so I was listening. I like this past summer. So Marcus, again, my buddy from Notre Dame, him and I listened to Playboy Cardi a lot, and some Travis Scott. That was what my go-to race song was a collab song between them two, and it was just. And there was I found some version of that had like an extended intro, and it was just like putting me right where I needed to be.
Yeah,
so
get in the zone.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah. Well, let's talk about the World's experience. So, I mean, gosh, you're the first person on the team who was there in Singapore that we've talked to afterwards, and so we were able to spectate the whole experience from where we sit and see everything that went down in the camp and the sickness and everything, and then the arc of your meet too, where your individual 100 back wasn't up to what your expectations would have been, or even your best, and then you rebound and have a great swim in the lead off of that medley relay. But a lot of chatter around too about like who the U.S. should pick in backstroke. By the end of the meet, just not knowing where everybody was at, and so I'd love to like get a first person perspective on all of it.
Yeah,
and start, wherever you want to start on the camp, the meet, the experience.
Sure.
And
I mean, Yeah, so I think the camp altogether was a lot of fun. I mean, there wasn't a guy on that team that I didn't like get time to spend one-on-one in a group that I really didn't enjoy a lot. Like it was truly like I was so happy just to like it was like even at like meals and stuff like that. Sometimes it's like there's a person that you're like, oh, like I don't know them, like maybe I won't go sit with them. Like it totally did not feel like that. Like I went up to everybody and it was just like I got right brought into the group that was there, and it was truly awesome. Like I think that team was very special, and they welcomed me fantastically into the group. But again, it was a lot of fun, a lot of different training. I love training under Braden. He was fantastic too. He gave me a nickname, Crocodile Man, and more for he said my stroke, freestyle and backstroke, looks like a crocodile's pinching me or coming to bite me underneath. And it looks like I'm just thrashing.
Oh, yeah.
So he thought that was fun. it was good. So he'd always come up to me before any of my races. He'd be like, it's Croc season. You got to go out there and get the job done. So I thought that was awesome. But in general, the camp in general was a lot of fun. I got to explore a little bit in Thailand and go to the beach a little bit. And I sadly didn't get to see the elephants. Some of the elephants that the other guys did, but it was a lot of fun. Training was really good. It was really nice. I hadn't trained outside like that in a long time just because I'm swimming at Notre Dame and it's an indoor pool, but I really enjoyed being out there and being in the sun too. That was awesome. But then I guess obviously people started to get sick and I wasn't 100% sure what it was because I guess Chris kind of got sick before I did and my roommate. And I was just kind of like, okay, like, I don't know what it is. I just got to like try and make sure that I'm okay and doing what I'm doing. But again, I eventually did fall to it as well. And I just tried to keep a positive mindset going through it. But it definitely hit me pretty hard as it did many of the other guys. But I also think that if I show the weakness through, like it's going to affect everybody else. So I tried to do what I could to not let it get the best of me, like I guess the way I presented myself. So I tried to hold myself together the best that I could. And again, help everybody else through it. If one person's struggling, I just try and lift each other up. But it was definitely a challenge because I think the peak of it for me was like 2 days before I swam. So I was like, I had a fever broke, and then I started to feel a little bit better, and then I just gave everything I had to go into that race because I knew, especially since I was flown across the other side of the world, and I was chosen, I earned my spot here for this event. Like I wanted to give everything that I had, and I did, and I did everything that I could in my power to give everything, and it again wasn't the time that I wanted, but I was still proud of myself for just being able to pick myself back up again and be able to be in that environment and just again, as well as again, being there for the competitive edge. It's just just appreciating the moment of being there in Singapore with the greatest in the world and just being happy that I was able to be there. So I think going from that to there was I swam on day 2 and then the very last day of day 8. So there was a good 5, 6 days between that of just nothing for me. So I just kept kind of training at it. I started to feel better. And then 2 days before the actual relay, the coaches had come to me and were like, all right, like we had Keaton swim for the mixed medley. And then they were still seeing their possibilities of what they wanted to do, if they wanted to use me or not, or they also were debating about using Luca. And so Luca and I had a swim off on 2 days beforehand. And just at the pool, we both did our warm up and stuff like that after he had won gold. So they knew he was hot. And on and ready to go. So we did 100 back swim off, and I did end up beating him for the prelim spot in the morning. And then once I got there for prelims, I was honestly more just trying to soak up the moment of being there and just enjoying like the fact that I am on the relay, like the relay of all relays. And it's just like, I was just so ecstatic just to be on there and just be a part of that. And then they came back to me after the prelim swim and were like, you know what, we need you again for finals. And I was like, bet, like, let's do it. I'm super excited to get this opportunity to step up and do what I need to do and represent Team USA. And we came home with the bronze. So but shout out to Jack Alexi though for that 45.9 because God, that's insane.
We all can shout that out. That was a amazing split, and you had a great relay split yourself, like you said, after a whirlwind week, that everything you all went through. So stepping up big there. But I have to highlight one moment. I mean, I'm watching the meet closely, trying to find content, and so the dumber the better, and sillier stuff. And I remember you behind the block on the 100 back, and Brian and I have talked about this before, where they blow a million whistles behind the block, right? It's like whistle, whistle, whistle. I swear, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. You heard a whistle and you bent your knees like you're ready to jump in. And then no one else jumped in, and you like looked around. And you're like, "Oh yeah, I'll wait for the right whistle."
I'm still stretching. Yeah, it's like,
yep, all good. You pulled it off. I think I caught it though.
Yeah, no, I was definitely because like they do. It's usually like two whistles, sometimes three if people are loud.
So
like
many.
I mean, I just So I was probably just like about ready to jump in. And I was like, wait, that wasn't the whistle to jump in. So yeah.
It's like that, you trip and then act like you're running, sort of thing.
Yeah, you just keep going like nothing happened. Yeah, just play it off.
Yeah. How bad was it? Were you like shitting your brains out, or what was it?
It was pretty tough. Yeah, I mean, I think it was pretty bad. But I mean, again, I just tried to be level-headed with it and just like focus. I mean, I was throwing up and going to the bathroom a lot. It was pretty tough. And then as well, the fever too, like it just kept hitting me. I would be like, oh, like, okay, I'm starting to get a little bit better. And then I get smacked in the face again. It's like, nope. So, but yeah. And one of the actual things that really did help me too was on the last couple of days, I was like, you know what? It's been 3 weeks since I've had any American food. I'm going to go to Shake Shack. So I went to Shake Shack with Chris, and then I went with Michael, Andrew, and Luca. And that definitely helped my stomach because it was more something that I was used to, we'll say. So I had a good triple cheeseburger and a black and white milkshake and some fries, and it set me straight. So
yeah. There you go. If that's not a plug, I don't know what is. But most importantly, let's get to something really crucial. Let's hear top 3 sickest swimmers on the men's team at the meet. You got a ranking of who was really dying the most? Because I'm sure everyone's talking. It's like, oh man, did you see so and so? He's like,
So I want to say
over there.
Oh, okay. So Chris my roommate wasn't that bad. He was all right. I feel like Jack Akins was up there because I mean he was struggling a bunch. I think Keaton was also struggling quite a lot. And then I'm trying to think. Dari also.
Backstroke
Keaton
boys
and Dari
were.
it got to everybody. So. Everybody was struggling in some sort of fashion, and it like hit people late differently. Like towards the end, like Josh went down and he was struggling a bunch. Like I remember he came to warm up and I saw him in the warm up pool and I was like, oh, I didn't realize you were here. Like, how's it going, man? He's like, I slam a 200 and I'm done. Like I'm getting out. Like I'm just gassed. So he still was feeling it a bunch. But I mean, I also I remember Michael said he almost had to leave the ready room. Oh, he left the ready room early to go to the bathroom and then come back like 5 minutes beforehand because he's like, I didn't know if I was going to make it through my event. Yeah, so there was a lot of different, a ton of moving pieces and stuff like that. But I would say probably Keaton, Jack, and then honestly, AJ also was struggling quite a lot. He came to breakfast a lot and would share, be like, I'm not doing good. So, but yeah.
That sucks. Yeah, that's so brutal. Were you guys were they like quarantining everybody, keeping them away if you're like the first sign of illness? But when it's that many people on the team,
everyone's sick.
Separate.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like everybody again, I don't exactly know. We still fully don't know what it was and how.
Yeah.
It got transmitted. Like again, it was probably through physical contact and different stuff of being in close quarters. But I don't know. Right. Once I wore a mask, I tried to do what I could. Once it was the early stages of people, not everybody had it.
Yeah.
But I tried to do that because when I was sick, I was like, I didn't want to get Chris sick, and I didn't really know what it was that was spreading it. So I tried to just do what I could. But I think overall, once everybody got sick, I was just like, you know what, we're all here. We're all just gonna sit in it until it all goes away. So it's like. Everybody just tough it out. So,
yeah. All right. Well, we got to ask too about the outside noise because there was, even after the meet, obviously there's people like, Phelps and Lochte making comments and then Rowdy making a statement about, the performance of the men's team at Worlds. And some of that chatter started around, like, the team illness, and even like backstroke until you guys had the swim off and you ended up making it a moot point because you had a great swim in the final. But leading up to that, everybody was like, oh shit, like you and Jack had shown signs of sickness. Who should the U.S. pick for backstroke? Luca coming into the fold. And so I wonder about like, how much was the team? So some of the pushback on all that, like negativity from the outside looking in was like, some people were saying like, hey, stop that kind of chatter because the current team is still swimming and they're affected by this and they're hearing all this outside noise. So I was just curious, like, is that something that within the team that you guys were aware of, people speculating about, what's the U.S. going to do? And was it negatively impacting anyone on the team, or did you feel like you guys were kind of insulated from it?
No. So I feel like, again, we definitely know it was all there. I mean, I think specifically, again, the backstroke was definitely, I guess like the start of like to scratch away the page and just like rip it all off to say that everybody was like, that we weren't as, I guess, as people said, the men's team wasn't doing as good as I guess in the past it had done. But I feel like overall we did try and stick to like, just like not looking at it. And again, we obviously knew it was there. And again, myself included, once I was done, I looked at and saw what was being said about the mixed medley relay of who could have done what. And it's like, overall, I feel like, again, I'm happy that the team was able to kind of block that out and just be like, you know what, we're here. I'm going to do the best that I can, and whatever happens, happens. And everybody else who's saying their opinions and stuff like that, like, you weren't the one that was in the position to win at nationals. Like, I feel like it's just like everybody are in their spot. So it's like, we're all doing the best that we can. And I think that that's all what we just tried to stick with. And again, I don't think it really got to anybody because I feel like we all collectively as a group were like, we're just going to push it away and just, we can look at it if you want to when you're done. But as of right now, we still have a job to do. We still need to put our best foot forward and do what we do best and race and go out there and have fun too. So,
yeah, I wonder too about like how you can only control what you can control, and the world's getting faster at swimming too. And to me, I look at the meet. I mean, John and I have talked about this a ton, obviously during the meet, is like, well, I don't feel like I saw Tori Huss best at that meet. I know that there were other people where you look at him and like, like Jack. Obviously, that's not like the true Jack Akins that we saw at Worlds. And so to me, it's just like, you just give people a pass. Like, well, gosh, like, imagine what that's like to go into a meet where everybody's sick and then you're zapped of energy and then you're trying to give your best. So I guess from a performance standpoint, I kind of like go, okay, well, that sucks. But it kind of is what it is. You guys like did what you could to make the most of it, and I like, if I were you, I'd be super proud to come back and have a result at the end of the meet where it's like right on your PB, and it's like, well, that's what you can do, only what you can control. But I wonder like how realistic some of the expectations are. People saying, oh, the men's team is underperforming. I'd say like maybe relative to historical medal counts, okay. Yeah, but not like by a wide margin. And I wonder, being a part of like the current men's team, how do you feel about like how fair or unfair the expectations are that, the men should be dominating, the competition versus being very competitive?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that I'm all for like, I feel like pressure is a privilege. And I think that what Michael and Ryan and Rowdy have all said, like, I'm all for it, continuing to take up the challenge and holding ourselves to a standard of like trying to be the best and the best. But I think Greg had said, at least before the meet, he was like, we haven't earned title of the best team yet. We have to earn that. And as obviously with the medal count and the most, I guess, golds, like we ended up doing that and we did earn that. But just saying that beforehand doesn't really mean anything. So I try to take that and roll with that as well. But again, I think the rest of the world is also just getting faster. Like, I think in general, like we were so far ahead of the curve and people are just catching up now. And again, in some ways that's good because it's like, well, it makes for an interesting story. Like if you just win all the time, it's like, well, then it's like, not that it gets boring. Cause again, it's still that you're still winning, but it's like, well, now that like, even I guess in the 100 backstroke is a great example. Like this is the first time that 51 happened 3 times. Like top 3 was 51. Like that's never happened before. So it's like in general, just everybody's getting faster, and it's like I feel like that's a good thing. But again, I take the criticisms and stuff that people have said. Like I definitely hear it, and I feel like again, as you guys both said, there's only so much that I can control, and if I did the best that I could in that moment, I'm gonna leave myself at that and be happy with that, and not let the criticism kind of get in my face. But I also still think that like if you want to be the best of the best, like you have to again prepare yourself in the best case scenario for whatever happens. And obviously, none of us had expected this to happen. But going forward, if something like were this to happen again, like we would still control what we can control, but we could be better prepared for certain things like that. So I feel like overall, like again, you take it with a grain of salt, but I think that there is still some important information that could be taken away from that. But yeah, so I think it's like you give take a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And I'm with you where I overall think it's a good thing to have more competition. There's more storylines. I know, NBC and USA Swimming is used to what's a storyline? US team winning golds. But that's like all they can think of versus like, hey, here are some swimmers. Here are some rivalries. This is the best of the best that's improving from all different countries and their backgrounds and their stories. So there's so much more to improve upon, I think, on the publicity and just the side to get more stories out there in swimming that it can be capitalized more. So I think it's a great thing to have rest of the country or the rest of the world really improving and pushing everyone forward.
Right. I 100% agree because I mean again like I want all the competition that I can have because it's going to push me to do the best that I can too. And again, if I'm floating out way ahead of everybody else, it's like you're kind of just like, well, the only person that I can push myself is me, and I don't really know where I am when I'm swimming. It's just kind of you're floating off on an island. So when I have other people around me to push me, I feel like also it's like that even when you do win, it's like that win feels a lot more earned. Not that it doesn't when you're way out ahead, but like if you out touch somebody, it's like I beat you. It's like I won, I earned this, and this is what I just achieved. So,
see, I think there's a lot of room. I think Crocodile Man, you got to roll out there with like some attire and outfit and just feed into it. Really build that persona.
I know it's sad. I don't even have Crocs. I don't even have Crocs. I gotta get myself some Crocs first.
No, I think you need like slippers that are crocodile, like feet and things
that. Yeah,
exactly.
What about a whole headpiece? Like he's on College Game Day. Get like a crocodile head,
like the Florida Gators or something. Like get that like a good croc. Or I feel like I could just have what if I just had like a onesie where it's like a big crocodile and it has that's what I walk out and I unzip everything before I get to swim.
You're like, wait, I got 10 minutes of stuff to get off here behind the block, guys. Give me a minute. I got a lot of different things.
Do you think there's a rule that would prevent you from wearing a headgear to walk out?
Well, at World Cup, who is it? The Hong Kong, Shaban Hahi, she wore like that panda outfit at one of the World Cups, right? World Cups may be different, but
They may be a little bit more lax with it there, but I feel like this kind of thing is like what's good for swimming if you could build some of the personality. Like wear your bib on the outside, but I don't know what their contract is on having the logo on the cap. Is it only in the water, or is it just like, hey, every swimmer needs to compete in a cap that has the Yakult logo?
Definitely have to wear the cap.
Let's get you a Lee Corso headgear. I think this is.
I think that would be awesome. I'd rep it. I'd rep it. Watch me walk out at NCAAs or ACCs, and I'll have that on with my Notre Dame gear too.
Hell yeah! There we go. Yeah.
Speaking of your backstroke, I want to learn more about the wiggle. You have a very pronounced wiggle in your backstroke, and obviously, a lot of elite backstrokers have. Like Aaron Pearsall, I think, was the best one that I can think of, but he didn't wiggle like you're wiggling. You've got
so I think specifically if you're specifically looking at the camera for my prelim swim in the relay, because I think that's what I was wiggling the most. Like usually I feel like for the most part I'm a little bit straighter. I think the nerves kind of got to me and I was just kind of just like going a little bit, but I think in general I do have a little bit of wiggle because I feel like my backstroke like my catch is like when I do it, like sometimes my hand comes up on top of the water and that tends to push me a little bit and go left and right. And I mean, I know that my backstroke has a very unique stroke style in a sense. It's not that pretty, but I know I just know that I get the job done. So I just stick with it. So whatever
it's beautiful,
works,
man.
I guess. Thank you.
Beautiful backstroke. Don't talk it down. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Well, what is the logic on the technique though? Like, can you walk us through did that just come naturally, or had there been some like coaching and technique guidance throughout your career that's kind of landed on that? Because I recall I had a teammate at Texas back when Pearsall was training there, and he talked about like the intentionality that Pearsall talked about the backstroke catch as being put a hand in the water and catch, and then a side crunch, and he was actively trying to connect hand entry to hip this way. And I had never heard that before, but when I watched your backstroke underwater, and I do think it was that prelim relay, and I texted John right away, I was like, this Tommy Jake has quite a wiggle to him. But it did remind me of what I had heard, that intentional technique from Pearsall. So I'm just curious if yours is natural or based on some coaching guidance.
So I think it's a little bit of both. Like, I think there's definitely some coaching guidance with that, because right before, like we had talked about with my coaches at Notre Dame, like the connection of my stroke from my arms to, I guess, in my hips and my legs, like at trials in 24, like it wasn't there in a sense. Like more in the 200 when I had done it. Like I feel like I spun myself out a little bit, and then I just died. And then I was just like legitimately just swimming, and there wasn't like, I guess I couldn't feel like the extra pull, I guess, with my stroke technique. But I think as well, like with that this year, like I really probably from like March to May, like I really tried to focus a little bit more on with the connection of like my rotation of my hips and making it a full body connection rather than just having, I guess, your upper body and lower body as like two different components. So making sure that they're one. And then again, I think I've always just had a wiggle stroke in a sense. Like I've always had kind of just like I don't know. I always had some sort of kind of wiggle, but I feel like it initially was more natural, but I guess there is more intention with it now behind that with the connection of my upper body and lower body, I would say.
Crocodile Man. That's all it is. Avoiding those
Something,
crocs.
yeah, I got my tail wiggling.
Exactly. You got it. You're just whipping behind.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, I do want to know about like the choice to stay at Notre Dame when they and that's quite the pivot, I know, but the choice to the choice to stay at school when you guys are faced with having to sit out for a year is a bold decision. I bet, you know, at the outset there were some people leaving. Obviously, Chris decided to move on to Texas, and you know, after having set a culture there at Notre Dame, I know that there's the inflection of, you know, camaraderie and riding together, and you know, you and your teammates who decided to stay bonding to kind of guide your own path in between the coaching changes and then not being able to compete. And then I bet like coming out on the opposite end of that whole thing had to come with such a tremendous source of pride and justification to win a national title, to get on the world squad and say like, hey, Notre Dame hasn't gone anywhere. We're still here. There's going to be an identity of this team going forward. That's what I see from the outside looking in. And I'm just curious about like, you know, how you reflect on the decisions that you and other guys made, you know, 2 years ago now to come out on the other side of this, and what it feels like, what momentum you're carrying into your now senior season at Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in the moment it was definitely a difficult decision to try and figure out whether, like, we didn't know what was going to happen with the swim team. Like, again, the women still had their practice times and stuff like that, but I think we were just like kind of really up in the air and not knowing what's going on, because we just like, they didn't really tell Notre Dame, like the university didn't really tell us very much at the beginning. So it was kind of, we were completely in the dark whether we were going to try and come back and do practices on our own before, or we were going to end up joining the team again. And it was a lot. Like we for the first couple of weeks, like we just did practices beforehand. So I'd come in, if practice was at 6 for the women, I'd come in at like 5 and we'd swim for an hour, and then I would be done for the whole day, because it's just like that was the only time that we could get in the water. And again, obviously I wanted to be in the water, but it was hard to find those like those little small windows of time where it's like the coaches were still there, or they would give time up for us to then be there. and it was definitely pretty hard. And then I also, me personally, like in the fall, so when we were doing some of those workouts, like I hurt my back. So I was doing some squats and I really hurt my back. So I didn't swim like October, November, December. And then I kind of came back into it with training trip. And then after that, then I just kept grinding and just kept doing what I needed to do. But again, with the guys that stuck with me, so it was basically me, and then two of my fellow classmates, one guy below, so one sophomore, and then the 10 freshmen, and that was it. So it was definitely interesting. Like I definitely felt like I had to do more because, again, in a leadership position on the team, like I wanted to do what I could for the younger guys, the freshmen, to make sure that they felt comfortable, they felt welcome with this very, very unique circumstance of not being able to swim at all. And doing that, like I just tried to, again, be a leader for them and show what I could do and be there to support them and with everything I could. So I tried to I had to put a little bit extra pressure on myself with that. But in general, like once we found our groove of the training schedule and I knew them a little bit better, like we all bonded together and clicked together just to like tough it out together and do, like, we kept our eyes on which at that point was June for the national meet, to just like we band together and just train together and do everything we can, just push ourselves when we didn't want to do it, especially some of those mornings. Like it was definitely hard knowing that the rest of the guys team wasn't there, that everybody that had been with for the past 2 years, like that was all gone. And it was a whole new team basically. So that was hard. And again for the freshmen too, just coming in and not knowing what to expect. Like it was just a total unknown. So once we had our flow down, like we all, like not like made a pact, but like we all like hold each other accountable, and everybody did pretty well, like across the board for the freshman class, and then my class as well for the guys who swam the meets. Like we did very well, and again, myself included, doing pretty well. But I feel like once I won, it kind of just like made the rest of the year like go away. Like it was like everything, all the struggles that I had gone through and everything was like had made it up to this point. And again, as you said, like a sense of pride, because it was like I was able to overcome this and stick through with what I had chosen to do, and I followed through with what I wanted to do, and it came to fruition of making the world's team. And I think, again, just not even for myself but for my team too, like I wanted to step up and show, again, as you said too, like that Notre Dame is still here. Like we didn't just disappear, and it wasn't like a one-man show. Like, again, shout out to Chris for doing everything that he did too, but I want some of that credit too, because again, we all work hard, and I would hope that some of my other teammates that are here now want to take the, like, get the spotlight on them to get some of that limelight and do well. Because I mean, we have like one of the sophomores now, Shane Eckler. He's a junior national team member, or was last year, and I know that he's chomping at the bit to get what he wants to do too. So I think that we have the right fire, the right ambition for this year to take it head on and see what damage we can do across the NCAA.
Yeah, man. Bonding through adversity. That's like your last couple teams with the Team USA, everyone being sick, and then Notre Dame.
I'm a pro at it now. I mean, you name it.
Yeah, you are.
I can do whatever. You throw it at me and I'll get it done.
Yeah, I mean, we joke, but I mean, it's true. And you do learn from it, right? Or you can learn from it. You can take it, grow, learn, and take it and improve the next teams you're on, like this year going into Notre Dame or next Team USA. So I guess looking at next Team USA, Brian and I were looking at Pan Pacs and qualifying times, and we think or qualifying and how silly it is that qualifying ends when. Like it's pretty much in the next month for a meet in a year. We still don't know why Team USA does that, but you're sitting at third, if that's correct, right?
Yes. So since I didn't get my best time before, past, I guess, the national meet, I know Daniel and Will both have got me by a little bit. And again, kudos to them. I know that they both did very well at WUGS. And again, I know Daniel's been really itching to get under 53 because he went 53.07 when he raced me in 2022. And I know he's been itching at it to get under, so I'm very happy for him. And obviously, same thing with Will. Like that 52.5 is pretty freaking fast. Like, I mean, I'm hoping to get there pretty soon too. So I know that they'll be ready to brawl in the ends in short course too. So I'm pretty excited for them.
Yeah. What do you think the path is to 51? You know, or what do you?
So I've thought quite a lot about this. Like, I think like it's gonna come more from the back half. Again, like there's only so fast you can go out. Like again, you got to go out fast to go fast. But I feel like, I mean, I was honestly appalled when I was watching like Mirov and even Chacon and Peter Coetzee. Like they all were out 24, and I was like, my God, that is unbelievable. Like I remember I was down. Like as I was leaving to go back to the hotel, I was watching at the TV at the little like entrance area for our bus to come pick us up, and I saw Mirov flip at 24.9. I was like, is that real? Like what am I watching right now? Like, and then for him to come back 51.7, like that's just insane. So I think it's going to end up like, I feel like it's not going to get too much faster than what probably 24 high, or like 24 high, 25 low. Like again, in my relay split at night, that was the fastest I had gone, which is 25.4. So again, there's still a decent time gap between him and I, but I think that it's going to come home. It's going to be more coming home. Like again, everybody can take it out, but it's like who can hold on longer, and that who can have that last 15 meters, 20 meters of just like pure charge energy of just getting your hand on that wall. And I think that if we tried, at least my coaches and I tried to break up my swim by like the 15, like I guess we'd have my first 50, and it was more or less we broke up the second 50 of like the first 15 coming off that wall, and I would compare myself to Ryan Murphy and see like what his 51 was, where is that compared to me. And again, going into that turn, like my closing swimming speed was there and it was fine. But the difference between that and him and I was his underwater. He just absolutely dogged me. And like, he was like 1.3 ahead of me. And that was 51.8 or whatever it is that his best was, just legitimately just from the underwaters coming out. I mean, I remember last year watching him in the Olympics, like coming out, everybody would be right next to him, and then he'd pull away as his fantastic underwater coming out to 15. And it was just like, I knew that he would secure and do the job that he needed to do after that. So, but I think the road to 51 is going to be back half. And I think that if I pull it together with a lot more back half work and you name it, tons of weights and all the above, like I think that is in my view for sure to go 51 hopefully at some point. I don't know when that'll be, maybe 28, maybe in a year, maybe in 2 years. I don't know. But I think I do see that hopefully in my future, and I would love to go tear it up again. So
hell yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, man. All right, well, we got some rapid fire, Tommy, and we'll let you go. What's
do
the
it.
hardest race in swimming?
I don't want to be biased, but I think long course two back is absolutely miserable for your legs. I mean, again, I feel also the mile and 4 IM are pretty difficult, but I think two back long course is definitely up there. Cause I mean, when you're coming home in the last 50, and especially if you're dead already, like your legs are just dragging behind you. And it's just like, I remember getting out when I made my first Olympic trials cut in 2021 or 2020, excuse me. I got out of the pool and was like, I need a wheelchair. Like somebody needs to carry me out of this pool. Like it was so bad. It was so bad.
That's for sure what a long course two back will do to you. All right, what about Olympic gold or world record?
I'm gonna go Olympic gold, because I feel like, again, world record is pretty awesome, and again, you might be the fastest person in the whole world at that point, and for however long that might be. But I feel like the Olympic gold is more of like a signification of you earned this at this time. And it's like you have this as a keepsake to continue to hold for forever for with you. So, I mean, again, the world record, you might get a certificate or whatever too, but I feel like that gets beat. And again, if you were the Olympic gold medalist in whatever for that year, like I feel like that's more valuable, at least in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. All right. What for this most recent Worlds, what do you think was the most impressive swim at the meet?
I mean, obviously, Leon Marchand's 152 was insane. I think that's a no-brainer. But I also want to say, too, I love watching the two free, men's two free. And I also really enjoyed watching, just Katie swims, too. Like, she's an absolute beast. Almost 15 years of total dominance is just unfathomable. Like, I just was like, and she was super nice to me, too, and I was very grateful for her for that, too. But I love watching that. I mean, there's honestly, the list goes on of fantastic swims. Like I was in the mezzanine every time that I could be, that I was feeling good. to watch and cheer everybody on. But I mean, again, the 100 back too was just fantastic. Just like seeing 51s than ever. But yeah, I mean, I love watching it all. So
it's fun to watch.
You mentioned earlier watching the 45 up close and personal had to be good.
Oh my God, that last 30 meters, like I knew he had it. Like I saw like I was like, just because I from watching Jack and Chris swim, like how competitive they are against each other. Like I was like knowing if like I saw like it was a complete chase down. Like after Dare's fly, like I knew like if there was anybody I'd want to have on that anchor, I knew it would be Jack, because Jack just like there's just like a sense of confidence and presence that he brings. That was like not calming to, I guess, me, but like I knew he would do his job. And again, I watched that last 30 meters. I was like, he's going to run him down. Like that guy has no chance. So sadly for Italy, there was just no chance. And it was funny. I was saying to him in the locker room, or the podium room afterwards, I was like, thank God you were on my team and not somebody else's team. So, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. So let's pivot here. So let's imagine a world where you were only allowed to have 3 apps on your phone and all the rest of the apps had to get deleted. Which 3 apps are you keeping?
Oh, that's a great question. Clash Royale, for sure. One of them. I didn't have social media for a big chunk of this past year because I kind of just wanted to just cut that out. So I could do without social media. I would say probably just, I'd say FaceTime, messages, and Clash Royale, just so I could stay in contact with people.
All right. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Another one, hypothetical world, but maybe not so hypothetical in your future, is dream sponsorship. Who's like one you're like, oh, that'd be a sick sponsor? Is
it outside of swimming too?
Well, yeah, whatever you want.
Okay. Well, I would say for swimming, Mizuno, if you would like to. But I would love, I don't know. I mean, anything. I guess like I love Nike. I think Nike's fantastic, even though my school is Under Armour. I mean, Under Armour's great too, but I would love something with Nike, or honestly, there's a chip brand from around my area in Philly called Hers potato chips, and they make this popcorn that is absolutely to die for. And like when I come home, like since I've been home, like my mom would buy the family size bags, and I would just go downstairs and play Xbox with my friends, and I would just crush a whole bag of popcorn. Like, and it's sad because it's not anywhere else. Actually, that brings up another thing. Wawa. If Wawa would love to give me a sponsorship, I would absolutely love Wawa to sponsor me.
Oh yeah, you can tell that you're from the East Coast with those two things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've had some more recent Wawa experiences because they're in Florida, and I was just in Florida. But I have heard of the Hers potato chips. I don't think I've had the popcorn, but now
would highly recommend. What's your go-to Wawa order?
Oh, well, see, I'm more of a QT. So like I'm new to Wawa, but like I grew up in Atlanta, and so Quick Trip or QT is kind of like the gas station of choice that's also got good food. And so we recently I'm an Atlanta Braves fan, and my family went to a Braves game, and so we'd go buy QT and get hot dogs before going to the Braves game. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So that's the thing for me, is just the hot food, but also coffees, and yeah, I don't know.
Have you been to Wawa, John?
What's your Wawa order?
I've never been to Wawa. I mean, they're not on the West Coast, really, but there is one in Indianapolis, I think. So maybe I'll make a trip on there. Tell me what to get.
I went home when I was going home from after my win. That's what I went. I was like, me and Shane, who was also on my team and from PA as well. We were telling my coach, like, we have to stop on the way home. Like, this is a necessity. Like if anything, like I hope my national title could get me to Wawa on the way home. Like, but I would tell you to get like, they have a sweet cream cheese pretzel, which is fantastic. And it's like a little snack. And then they also, as for like a hoagie, I mean, they have everything there. Like, but I think my personal favorite sandwich is like the chicken parm sandwich. So it's like chicken strips, which they put sauce and fresh mozzarella on it, and it is absolutely so delicious. And the Wawa's cookies and cream. So
good to know. Thank you.
All right, next international meet, you know what you need to bring with you, so it settles the stomach, and there's no.
My stomach. I'll be pumping out best times if they give me Wawa. So.
Yeah, we need Wawa's to expand to LA, right, for 2028.
Or us to sponsor USA Swimming. Better yet,
dude. I don't think this is so hypothetical. I think athletes like you, that's totally within range, man. I think you can make it happen. You just got to reach out. So we'll help you out with that.
I appreciate that.
Tommy, where can everybody follow along with your journey, man? I know you've been off social media some, but for people,
no, I mean, I have my Instagram. My Instagram tjan23. Come follow me, and I'll hopefully be posting more content with this, just because. I mean, I hope if I can get some sponsorships or whatever it is, or just keep people posted with this year and how it all goes, like I'm all for it. So.
Hell yeah, man. Well, we're excited to get to build a connection. It was fun watching you over the last, couple years, and you're welcome back here anytime. Thanks for spending some time with us, dude.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on here. I really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah. All right. That's it for this episode of Social Kick. We'll see you next time.
Hey everyone, thanks for hanging out with us. If you enjoyed this episode of Social Kick and you'd like to see more, subscribe to the channel. And we love talking swimming. We'd love to talk about swimming with you. So leave us a comment and we'll see you next time.